In this video, I'm going to share 11 conversion rate hacks that'll double your sales fast. We've used these hacks to generate millions of dollars in sales and increase conversion rate for some of the fastest growing brands in the world, and we've used them in our own business to scale past 7 figures in revenue. So these conversion hacks are all tested and proven to work no matter what business you apply them in. So with that being said, let's dive into these hacks. Hack number 1 is optimize above the scroll. And if you just understand this one thing, you can dramatically increase your conversion rate. Now, what above the scroll is the section on your website that people see first before they have to scroll down and read the rest. And this is by far the most important part that affects your conversion rate, because if they don't like your above the scroll section, guess what? They're not going to scroll down and read the rest. So this is the area we need to optimize that's going to give us the most returns. And let me give you a real world example of that. Here's one of my landing pages for my newsletter, and the first version that we created converted at 38%. So 38% of people would give us their email address, and the layout was a subheadline, a headline, and a video. And underneath the video was a box for them to put in their email address. Now, what I realized is in this above the fold section, nowhere was there the box that they could see to put in their email address, which was the primary action we wanted them to take. So we created a variation where we kept everything the same, but we removed the video and replaced it with the opt-in box. So that way, when the website loaded, the first thing they saw was a headline, and they could see the area where they could put in their email contact information. And by making that one little change above the scroll, we went from a 38% opt-in rate to a 57% opt-in rate. That is a 48% increase in conversions, which is massive just with that one little tweak. So you want to make sure, if you want to optimize your above the scroll section, number one, you want to make sure the core message you want to get across of your offer is as simple and clear as possible right away. And they see that in that above the scroll section. And number two, any split test that you make moving forward, you want to prioritize your above the scroll section, because that's the area that's going to give you the biggest returns. So that's hack number 1, is optimizing above the scroll. Hack number 2 is write your website copy below a 5th grade reading level. And if you do this, you are going to increase your conversions. And the reason behind that is the easier your copy is to read, the more people are going to read it. And the more people who read your copy, the more conversions you're going to get. It's as simple as that. And to give you an example of that, you can see that the reading level of my website Scale with Less is written at a 4th grade reading level, which you can see here. And for context, my website for my agency converts at 14% to cold traffic, meaning 14% of people who land on my website book a call and fill out an application to work with us, which is really good. And you can see the headline here says, "We will scale your company's revenue purely on results, guaranteed 10x ROI, pay nothing out of pocket to get started." So it's very easy for someone to read. So what I recommend you do is go to hemingwayapp.com, take your website copy and see the readability score. And if it's way higher than a grade 5 reading level, edit it down until you can get it at or below a 5th grade reading level. And I promise you, if you do that and make no extra changes, you will increase your conversion rate. So that's hack number 2. Hack number 3 is exit pop-ups. And these are pop-ups that appear when a user tries to leave your website as one final chance to get them to complete the desired action. For example, on my website, marketersplaybook.io, when someone tries to leave, a pop-up appears that says, "Wait, claim your 20 plus free marketing trainings," and it's one last chance for me to get their email address. And very rarely have I installed an exit pop and made less conversions, because most people who land on your pages, they're going to try to leave. So it's in our best interest to have something that follows up with these people as one last chance. Now you can get these easily set up. Most website providers allow you to set these up very quickly, or all you need to do is just type in your website provider and type in pop-up plugin or software, and plenty of options are going to show up. For example, if you're using Shopify, just type in Shopify exit pop or pop-up plugins and plenty will appear. And then install it and measure it, and in most cases, you're going to make more conversions with an exit pop. All right, quick little break. If you've been enjoying these conversion rate hacks and you want to get 20 plus free marketing courses and trainings on conversion rate optimization, Facebook ads, and copywriting, go to marketersplaybook.io. That's marketersplaybook.io, or check out the first pinned comment in the description below. All you have to do is put in your email address, and I'll send you over 20 plus marketing courses and trainings that I've used to generate millions of dollars in sales for some of the fastest growing brands in the world. Again, that's marketersplaybook.io. Put in your email address, and I'll send them your way. So with that being said, let's dive back into the conversion rate hacks. Hack number 4 is increase your website page load speed. And here's a fun fact for you. 53% of website visitors will leave on a mobile device if your website takes longer than 3 seconds to load. So imagine that, your website takes longer than 3 seconds to load and you immediately lose half of your traffic. That's a huge problem. So we want to keep our website load time under 1 second. You can see my website for marketersplaybook.io. My load time is 351 milliseconds, which is well under 1 second, and my performance grade is a B. So what you want to do is go to pingdom.com and do their free website page load test. And if your performance grade is below a B, go to Fiverr or Upwork and hire someone to optimize your page load speed to get it under 1 second. And you can get this done for very cheap, like under $100. And if you do this, it's going to be the easiest ROI ever, because the faster your website loads, the more people are actually going to land on it without bouncing. So that's going to increase your conversions by a lot. So that's hack number 4. Hack number 5 is behavioral email automations. And these are automated emails that follow up with your leads based on where they dropped off in your sales process. Because most people who enter your sales process or go to your website are not going to convert. And one of the best ways to follow up with all these leads and get them to convert over time is with strong email automations. And after working with countless 7- and 8-figure brands, this is one of the first areas we have to optimize for them that gives them massive increases in conversions. So let me give you an example. If you're an e-commerce store, we'd want to make sure anyone who abandons cart, we have a strong email automation pushing them to complete their purchase. Anyone who views a product but doesn't convert, we'd want a strong email automation pushing them back to purchase the product. Anyone who joins the newsletter, we'd want to make sure we have an email automation pushing them to purchase a product. And by installing these automations, we'll have far more conversions as we have follow-up plans and contingencies for each drop-off point in the sales process. Now, the key thing to maximize your results from these automations is to have more frequency and volume. And what I mean by this is a lot of times people will have some of these automations set up, but there'll only be 2 emails in them or 3 days worth of email. Instead, you want to have 30 plus days worth of emails. The more, the better, because you're following up with the hottest prospects in your funnel and sales process, and you continue optimizing this. And if you do this, you're going to drive far more conversions. Hack number 6 is add social proof, because before someone buys your product or service, there's 2 questions you need to answer in their mind. The first question is, how do I know this product or service works? And the second question is, how can I trust them? If you don't answer these 2 questions first, there's not going to be enough trust built up to get a complete stranger to give you their money. And the best way to build that trust is by adding social proof in the form of reviews, testimonials, and case studies from customers. For example, on my website, scalewithless.com, for my agency, I have countless case studies from brands that we've worked with to build that trust, because I know the number one question business owners have when they're hiring an agency is what results have they generated? And that's a huge reason why my website converts at such a high rate. So you want to make sure on your landing pages and websites, you have clear social proof and reviews and testimonials that people can easily see. That's going to increase the perceived trust of what you're selling and increase your overall conversions. Hack number 7 is multi-channel retargeting ads. And these are ads that follow up with people who visit your website or enter your sales process that don't convert. And we already know most people who visit our website or enter our sales process don't buy. So it's in our best interest to follow up and stay on top of these people. And we can do that by setting retargeting ads on Facebook, Google, and banner ads. So that way we have ads that basically stock them all around the internet. And the best part about these retargeting ads is we can run them at a cheap budget and get really crazy returns because we're dealing with warm traffic. These are people who already know your brand, and all we're doing is driving them back to complete the action we want them to take. For example, here's a retargeting ad for my agency Scale with Less that we show to everyone who visited our website but didn't book a call with our sales team. And the ad basically says, saw you checked out our 10x ROI offer, but you didn't finish booking a call. And then they click on that ad and they finish booking a call with our team. And this ad gives me my cheapest cost per call. And to show you how powerful these retargeting ads are, we recently set up some retargeting ads, and they're currently generating $25,000 per day in sales at a 20x ROAS for one of our clients. And it's some simple Facebook retargeting ads and some Google keyword retargeting ads. And this gives them crazy returns because, again, we're dealing with warm traffic. So what I recommend you do is get these up and running so you can stay on top of all of that traffic that is warm, that hasn't converted, so you can drive more conversions. Hack number 8 is incentive cycling, and this is extremely powerful. This is where every week you add a special incentive to your offer that can be a bonus or a discount of some kind, and you make it available for a specific time period, like 7 days. And then next week, you swap it out for a new incentive and you keep doing this. And I'll give you an example here in a second, but the reason this is so powerful is this is going to boost your conversions, as now there's added urgency to your offer. It gives people a reason to act now. So you can see here for my agency, right at the top highlighted in green, it says free email marketing when you become a client until May 31st. So that gives that urgency, because if people want to work with us, they also get free email marketing if they sign on before May 31st. Then what we do after May 31st, we'll just swap email marketing with free conversion rate optimization when you become a client until June 7th. And we'll keep cycling these over and over again to add that urgency to drive conversions. And typically what you'll notice is conversions will spike near the end of the deadline. So this is a very powerful tactic. So all you have to do to implement this is create a bunch of special incentives for your offer, which can be either bonuses or discounts. I personally like added bonuses. And then you just cycle them every single week to add that urgency. And then you can show these incentives either on your landing pages, your sales calls, you can mention them, or your follow-up material to drive more conversions. Hack number 9 is add multiple payment options. This is not up for debate. The more payment options you provide people, the more sales and conversions you're going to get. And the reason behind that is different people have preferred payment methods. Some people like to pay with credit card, some people like PayPal, whatever they like to use, we want to make it as easy as possible for them to pay. And also another big reason behind this is if one payment method fails when a customer tries to pay, you want to make sure you have backup options. And this happens more frequently than you might think, that a payment doesn't go through. Now, what you want to do is make sure in your payment forms and your sales process, you have as many available payment options. So make sure you have credit card, PayPal, Shop Pay, Google Pay, you get the point. The more of these you have, the better. And let me give you a real world example of this. One of our clients, a big account, they do over $100,000 per day in sales, their sales dropped by 30%. So that's a big drop in sales, $30,000 per day. So when we deep dived and audited things, what we found out was broken was their PayPal checkout button didn't work. So anyone who wanted to pay using PayPal couldn't pay. So by simply fixing the PayPal checkout button, we added $30,000 back a day in sales. And that's when I realized, holy crap, just by allowing people to pay with PayPal increased our conversions by 30%. So after learning that, we make sure we have as many payment options as possible. So you should too. Hack number 10 is create a strong guarantee. If you have a really good guarantee, you will increase conversions and sales 99% of the time. And the reason behind that is a guarantee reduces risk for someone to buy your stuff. And the less risk there is to buy your stuff, the more sales and conversions you're going to get. And when I learned how to create really strong guarantees, that's when it became very easy for me to generate sales and increase my conversions. Now there's two types of guarantees that you can use that are most common. The first type is an unconditional guarantee. This is a guarantee that has no strings attached. So for example, this would be try out our agency. If you're not satisfied with the results in the first 30 days, get your money back, no questions asked. Then you have conditional guarantees where there's conditions attached to qualify for the guarantee. So this would be try our agency. If you're not satisfied with the results in the first 30 days, get your money back as long as you filled out our instructions and you did what we told you to do. So there's some conditions that are attached to it. So what I recommend is if you don't have a guarantee, create one and test it out. Because if you do this, worst case scenario, you can just go back to whatever you're doing. But best case scenario, you will increase your sales. And if you have a good guarantee that reduces risk for customers, so when they see your guarantee and your products, they're like, okay, what do I have to lose? Your conversions are going to go up because again, there is less risk. So don't be a pansy, create a guarantee, test it out. And in most cases, you are going to make more conversions by having one. And finally, hack number 11 is a frequently asked questions page. This is an extremely powerful thing that you can add to boost your conversions because it allows you to handle the top objections and concerns people have about your products before they buy. For example, at my agency, we have a frequently asked questions page at the bottom that addresses the top objections and concerns people have about working with us. Like, what does the average client make in additional revenue? What is the average ROI a client makes? What makes us different from other agencies? And we address those objections and concerns, and now people can read them ahead of time, and it handles any objections they might have and makes them warmer and gives us a higher chance of converting them. So all you have to do to implement this is write out the top objections people have about your products or services, then write out the top questions you get over and over again, and then write out responses to those top objections and questions and install it at the bottom of your landing pages and sales pages. So then that way, when people are reading your sales pages, they can scroll down to the bottom and they'll see this frequently asked questions page that handles any last concerns and objections they might have, which will allow you to boost your overall conversions. So those are the 11 hacks that you can use to boost conversion rate, and I hope you found them helpful. If you enjoyed this video, you might like my next video that shares 10 tips to master Facebook ads fast. It's going to pop up on the screen right now, so go check that out and I'll see you there.